Eden Utilities can help your organisation to convert the energy it uses every day into a more sustainable source of supply. We are a professional, totally independent but friendly utility consultancy that can offer any organisation a way of converting its own waste into energy. This provides a number of beneficial rewards. So, if you already recycle items like plastics and paper, you could now use the rest of the waste your business creates to generate power for use back into your organisation. If you don't do any recycling yet, you could start now, without the need for any additional effort or large investment in time or cash to accommodate the initiative. Our Eden Infinity product provides your business with a way of not only helping the planet, but also saving you money. Your business creates waste. That waste is collected, and then we work with your energy supplier to ensure that the power generated from your waste is used to supply electricity back to you. In doing something like this, along with doing your bit to help save the planet and meeting your business's green targets, it provides great PR for your organisation, sending a very positive message to your suppliers, clients and stakeholders. It's something to be very proud of. At Eden Utilities, we pride ourselves on being unique with our continuous innovation, along with our ethos of providing a fully transparent pricing model to all our clients. Our personable approach means we always work with you to find the best for you. We regard ourselves as an extension of your business, a partner. Eden Utilities, your sustainability partner.
It's Bolton away, then Leeds at home.
Something we never thought we'd see.
It's Talk of the Town.
Episode 23.
Beautiful day. Hello and welcome to the University of Bolton Stadium. When we got out of the car, It was weird. It's
I
quite
made this
warm.
stupid comment. I said it's warmer up north than it was when we left.
My goodness, the temperature in this place has plummeted.
But Joe is wearing the club shop, modelling it well.
A new Crawley Town scarf and a pair of gloves which obviously are children's sized, but I'm having to make do. Oh, I don't know if you can see behind us, the snow is falling all around us. And we will hopefully be having fun here this afternoon at Bolton. The snow's falling faster than Bolton Wanderers through the league pyramid. Anyway, we won't go a little bit naughty there. Yes, we'll be bringing you all the live updates here from the University of Bolton Stadium over the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. We'll have guests from Bolton, hopefully. Hopefully they're not watching the show. They might not come on after that comment. We'll hopefully have... Kiosk Ken might be popping in as he's currently singing away. He looks like he's at a funeral, to be honest. But hopefully he'll be popping in. Hopefully we have Erdem. He's on his way here. Hopefully Erdem will be swinging by as well. We won't have the manager because, as you might be able to see, we're about
We might as well stay at home. You'll be just as close to the pitch.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on an aeroplane. I'm that high. But anyway, we'll hopefully be bringing you lots of fun and lots of action. But first, let's give you the team news. In goal today is Glenn Morris. Archie Davis starts, as does Tom Dallison, Jordan Tunnicliffe and Tony Craig. George Frankham, Jake Hessenthaler, Jack Powell, Sam Matthews, Tom Nichols, partners Ashley Naderson up front. On the bench, got Stuart Nelson, Joe McNerney, Tyler Frost, David Cisse, Danny Bullman, Sam Ashford and Brian Gallack. Harry, thanks for joining me once again. But you're really pleased, aren't you?
I say it's a pleasure. I'm sure everyone at home's thinking, oh, he's so lucky he gets to go there. But I bet they're sitting at home, they've got a blanket, crank the heating right up. It's a little bit different, but no, we are lucky to be here.
There are some silver linings to fans not being allowed in, let me assure you. Harry, obviously we only just got the team news just before we went live on air. What are your thoughts on the lineup?
A couple of changes, which I think is sensible, because I think we've got to make the changes. There's a lot of games in a quick succession. I think after Tuesday's win, which was, I think, probably the result of the season, I'd say absolutely. For us, you've got to be careful not to disrupt the balance too much, which I think is what John's trying to do today. And it's a shame to see a couple of lads drop out, Cerula being one of them. But again, we're bringing in strength, we're bringing in Naderson, we're bringing in Davis, so I wouldn't be too worried about changes being made. They had to happen, and I think we go quite strong today. Yeah, and it looks like it's the two wing backs, Nick Cerula and David Cisse, obviously who are dropping in Cisse's case, dropping to the bench, Cerula's case, and also dropping out the side. For them comes Archie Davis, obviously typically plays right back, but Ashley Naderson as well. So it looks like a completely change of formation. Yeah, and I know that Ian Evatt, the Bolton manager, said in his pre-match comments that you're not quite sure what Crawley are going to do, and they changed the team a lot. So if anything, we've kind of done what he wants us to do. We've changed again. So it's got to be an advantage that no team we play knows the shape we're going to go with, the lineup we're going to go with. We've got real strength in depth. Yeah, we have got that interview, pre-match interview with Ian Evatt, the Bolton manager, which we will be bringing you later on. See some interesting comments about Crawley and John Yems and his charge style, as you say. Of course, at home you can watch the game live. It's £10 for season ticket holders and non-season ticket holders, and you can follow the game here from University of Bolton Stadium on iFollow.
In your heart, in spirit, in soul, you make every tackle, score every goal. You're part of it, wherever you are in the world. From the first minute until the last kick. Victories, heartbreaks. You're part of the fabric, the passion, devotion, supercharging emotion. For you, there is only one. Abiding loyalty, togetherness that is second to none. Follow every kick, every tackle, every goal. With access to live stream games and matchday commentary, with coverage spanning the globe. Behind the scene content, newsletters and match highlights. There is no better way for you to get closer to your club. And with iFollow sales supporting them, no better way to show your love. When you can't be there with iFollow.
Yeah, it's of course can't be here. I know there's a lot of sadness, particularly today.
Bolton is the ground that in a place that people would have been going, that's the one I can't wait to go to. I certainly did. Yeah. Obviously, we're in a really privileged position to be here, but we will do our best to bring you as close as we can to the stadium in the build-up to the game. We are joined by the legend that is
Kiosk Ken, Travel Ken, Cup of Tea Ken.
Thank you.
What's some intro that Cup of Tea Ken?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Very nice, Joe. Yeah.
Because you're hot and sweet, Ken.
I know. Yeah. Well, I need to be, don't I, with this snow coming down here. I mean, wow.
One thing we are asking people to comment to today. We want to hear if 2020 was a Crawley game of football. What game would it be? So basically, I think we're all agreed, a terrible game of football that you have seen supporting the Reds. So for me, I went away to Morecambe and we got absolutely humped 6-0, a long way and absolutely battered. That's my if Crawley game was a 2020. That's what are you going for, Harry?
Yeah, we discussed this in the car. It wasn't necessarily a bad game, so to speak. But I'm going when we lost at Peterborough in the League One relegation season, second to last game of the campaign, we blow a lead in injury time, and then a few days later we realised just how bad a defeat that was when we go again, take a lead at Coventry, lose that game, get relegated.
The first 90 minutes were January to March. Injury time was pretty much March to December of 2020. Ken, what are you going for?
Well, I was going to say the Coventry home game, where we were up or like the Peterborough away where we were winning and lose it in the last few seconds. But I remember going to Ruston and Diamonds once, fantastic stadium, and we lost 2-1. And we were winning and then bang bang 2-1 down. But I've seen a few bad games in my time, but that's probably one of the worst, I think.
Ken did see a game in 1924, which was in similar conditions to this, Ken?
I don't think the cameras will be doing it justice, just how much it is actually coming down behind us.
I said we were lucky that we'd be seeing a game of football here this afternoon. I'm not convinced we are going to see very much of it. It is horrific snow.
Yeah.
Ken, we've spoken about some bad games over history, and send in, however you're watching the show here, Facebook, YouTube, however you're watching the game, please do comment on what if a Crawley game was 2020, what Crawley game would it be? Please do send those in. On a brighter note, Ken, talking about some good games, Tuesday night, unbelievable.
Yeah, excellent game Tuesday night. We played really well. I think he set up the team to actually match what they've been doing. They'd obviously done their homework on Forest Green, and which is fair play to the manager and the assistant. And we sat with that 5 at the back to start with. And then, we could have been 2 or 3 up at half time, but we weren't. But then, obviously, second half, 2-1 to win. Great game.
And Harry, I think you watched it at home in the warm, like I did. Some nice comments from Mark Cooper after the game about how we were the better side, and he seemed impressed by Crawley.
And it's not an uncommon thing that other teams' managers praising us, be it before games or after games now. I think we're making somewhat of a name for ourselves in the way we play. Definitely our attacking threat. I kind of raised an eyebrow at the team selection on Tuesday. How wrong was I a little bit? Because
you know what? How many times and I think we've probably all done it, all raised an eyebrow at a selection that John has made, a sub that John has made, or something like that. But it often pans out, doesn't it?
I
it often comes off.
Yeah, I think as I said just a minute ago, he set up the team perfectly to match them. Obviously, done their own work on them to watch how they've been playing, and it just played off, didn't it? Tom Nichols on fire, wasn't he? Probably the best striker in the league at the moment, apart from Max, of course.
Well, we are sort of very lucky, and I suppose Tuesday night we are going to go to the highlights. A little hint there to Nick from the filming company. We're going to go to the highlights. We're going to have a look at that brace from Tom Nichols.
Yeah,
that is a big difference, I think, this year, where we're missing a major player in Max, not in the squad again today, but Tom Nichols seems to step up and perform. Best performance of the season individually, I think, on Tuesday night from him.
Yeah, I don't think he missed the blade of grass, did he, on Tuesday night? He was everywhere. He was right in the thick of it. When that second goal, when the ball came over the centre half, said he had very little time to react because really the centre half should have got it, and he brought it down 2-1.
Reminiscent of me for the CTS.
It was, yeah.
Years back,
I've seen you do it, Joe, but normally when you're in goal, you know what I mean.
And Harry, last comment before we go to those highlights. I saw someone say a win before the game, a win against Forest Green would really show our playoff credentials. Can we start talking about our playoff push yet?
I think we have to. I said to you in the car, I booked a holiday yesterday. I had to shout to the girlfriend and say, when's the League 2 playoff final? Because talk of the town from Wembley sounds pretty good. But no, I think we've got a point against top of the league. We've got 3 points away to second in the league. I don't think you can ask for much more.
I think the most surprising thing about Harry's answer there was that Harry has a girlfriend. Unbelievable. It just shows to everybody out there, if Harry can get a girlfriend, anybody, and now a boyfriend, it's an inclusive show.
Oh, Joe.
Everybody can. Right, we just had a chat about Forest Green. Let's take a look at the Reds' great win away at Forest Green on Tuesday night.
It's been a very happy December for Forest Green and Mark Cooper, and they'll seek to end it in style as they welcome Crawley to the new lawn. A run of 8 matches unbeaten has seen them go up to second in the League 2 table, just a point behind leaders Newport. Crawley's recent form has been good as they sit 10th in the table. John Yem's side are 6 unbeaten. They'll probably need to start converting draws into wins if they're to reach the playoffs. Here come Crawley early on with an effort. Sam Matthews, the shot came in, but Forest Green are able to clear. Up towards Jamil Matt, but unlike him, he couldn't hold on to it. Here is Nichols. Back to Matthews, another strike for him. Sorola. And his cross is lifted over. Energetic start to the game for Crawley. Hoist forward. Hope pays off because Nichols has got to it. Here is Matthews. He's played across low. Powell's effort. Saved by McGee. Happy to recycle possession. It's the keeper, McGee. Sweeney has given possession away very cheaply. Nichols, and Nichols finds the back of the net. Pouncing on a Forest Green mistake, and Crawley take the lead. It's a lovely finish away from the goalkeeper, and it's a deserved lead for Crawley. Not really mustered any chances at goal yet. And they changed that here while Cadden's corner kick has been cleared. Godwin Malife heads it on, and now it's hooked forward for Collins. That would have been a spectacular way to find the equaliser. Chances were against him, so close. Here is Bailey. Back to the on-loan Birmingham man. Cadden. Searching delivery. And it's nodded into the side netting. It's a dream of a ball for Jamil Matt. Forest Green did make a change at half-time. They're in a more attacking formation now. Free kick awarded. Plenty of contenders to take this free kick. Cadden steps over it, and it's fired home by Jake Young. Taking everyone by surprise. Cadden steps over, and it's blasted into the back of the net. Fantastic strike from the substitute. Chris Stokes at the break, and he's made an immediate impact. What can Crawley muster in response? Well, it's a close effort. Jake Hessenthaler. Good save from Luke McGee. anyone's game now. It's an end-to-end affair. There is Young, looking to turn provider this time. Smothered by Morris. And he's looking long. Towering header away. And then another belt forward. It comes for Nichols. McGee positioned himself very well. Godwin Malife failed to clear. Addison's throw in. Crawley sending more bodies forward. Up into the box, and it's another great finish from Tom Nichols. It's his 10th of the season, and it's another very well taken effort. He only scored 1 in 9 before play this evening, and now he's on a hat-trick. Cadden. Gonna have to try and defend better against Nicky Cadden. His left foot is a real weapon at this level. Arcing corner. Crawley don't clear. And the shot is saved by Morris. Potential counter could be on, but the ball is well won. Challengers hurdled and a free kick given. Hit through a crowd of bodies by Young. Godwin Malife. Now Wagstaff. Back to Godwin Malife. It's good combination work. And then volleyed back towards goal. Caught sweetly, but well blocked by Crawley. And he could be in again. Here is Nichols. Nichols! Oh, he goes from distance. He saw McGee off his line. Picked his head up. Probably mishits the effort, but McGee still had to get across. Last chance saloon now. Forest Green. Be a disappointing result this to end that 8-match unbeaten run. Just offers more confidence to teams in and around them in the League 2 table. Another very high corner in towards McGee, who's got up there. It's an empty net now if Crawley can run it forward. Real chance for them to get a third goal. Does it have the legs? Oh, it's so close. Well, the clearance had to be made. It looks as though they've conceded a corner. With that, surely the result. This corner's only going one direction, and that's not the direction of the box. There is the full-time whistle. It's a fantastic result for Crawley Town. Tom Nichols, the 2-goal hero, grabbing strikes either side of Jake Young's powerful free-kick effort. Forest Green lose their unbeaten record. It's finished. Forest Green 1, Crawley 2.
Yeah, welcome back to the University of Bolton Stadium. We're joined by Mark from the Bolton News, who we're going to come to in a minute. Don't forget, keep your comments coming in. If 2020 was a football match, we've got some absolute pearlers from the old school, John Barnett and Steve Leake. Keep those coming through. We'll go through those at the end. I can see Ben the Groundsman's even dropped a comment thanking me for coming today. I missed one game. Geezer never went to an away game until lockdown. He had nowhere else to go. Anyway, Mark, thank you very much for joining us. an interesting one, Bolton. I suppose us, like everybody else, is keen to come here. Never been here before. It's a big club for this level, isn't it? But I suppose from a Bolton point of view, it's disappointing that you're having to play Crawley Town.
Yeah.
We're used to it.
I don't have anything against Crawley Town whatsoever. In fact, it's actually quite nice to get a chance to get you back from the League Cup the other year, to be honest. 8 years ago now. But, no, I mean, this is only the second year in Bolton's history that they've been at this level of football, so obviously it is a bit of an adjustment to make, but it was on the cards. We've known it for about since they were in administration 12 months ago. It's been a slow decline, and we're just hoping this is kind of rock bottom and that you bounce back up after this, really.
And I suppose for Bolton, it has been a decline from the sort of dizzy heights of even European football, I think, in the Premier League and even European football, to now being in League Two. For some clubs, like use Portsmouth as an example, seem to sort of hit League Two as their rock bottom, and then they sort of slowly build in and now challenging to get into the Championship. Do you think Bolton have hit rock bottom and are now looking upwards?
Well, you certainly hope so. I mean, they've got a solid ownership now, which is something they haven't been able to say for a good few years now, and they've got a group of owners that care about the club as a community and they want to build it up. The problem being is that they probably don't have the finances they used to have. Yes, you have this beautiful stadium. Yes, you have a massive fan base for this level. You've got 8,000 plus season tickets that have been sold for fans that don't even realise whether they're going to get a game this season. So there's all that going for it, but the actual bedrock of finance maybe isn't there that it was, in the past where they've been able to go out and spend millions on a player. That certainly ain't happening anymore.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, I'll let you come in a second. But I
have to barge my way in when Joe's on.
we were talking on the way as we were walking into the stadium, and Nick from our producer, he was saying this stadium must cost a fortune to run, and I suppose it's all well and good having a big fan base and a big stadium, but actually Bolton's overheads must be a lot higher than Crawley's. It's not as simple as you're a bigger club, you've got more money, is it?
Yeah, there is an aspect to that. I mean, there is a hotel on the end there that does supply quite a lot of that. It pays for a lot of the bills. So, in terms of sustainability, it's easy for me to say.
Yeah.
Sustainability, Bolton are getting there. They're actually getting to that sort of level period. But again, it becomes... It's okay being sustainable, but then, of course, you've got to start reaching. You've got to try and build and try and get out of this division. And then League One becomes a different animal as well. There's loads of money up there now. So, it's going to be a big challenge. Nobody thinks it's going to be easy. Despite that, the start they've made to this season has been a bit of a surprise, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you kind of touched on it there. I was going to kind of say, from the whole fanboys' point of view, what are the expectations? Because it's so hard, obviously, from our level, it's always, let's just try and stay up and get into the playoffs. Narrow-minded and think, we need to be getting promoted straight away. From a journalistic sense, you can see the bigger picture sometimes.
Yeah, I think we definitely didn't want to go any further. I mean, it dragged into a relegation fight, which, at the very early stage of the season, maybe we were thinking might actually happen. But I think with the squad that they've assembled here, it really should be doing okay. They've got players with a very decent pedigree at this level, the Owen Doyles, Anthony Sarcevic's. And whilst there's certain comments that have been made about the recruitment last summer, it has been a bit haphazard, in fairness. They've now got January to try and put that right, so the second half of the season should theoretically be better.
Yeah.
I thought the appointment of Ian Evatt was an interesting one, because it was one of those where a club like Bolton probably could have attracted a big name manager, like someone who's been on the so-called merry-go-round. They went for Ian Evatt, who had obviously done a good job at Barrow, wasn't it? I think in the National League. So hadn't actually really managed at this level necessarily, but so it's an interesting appointment. In a way, a bit of a risk, I would say.
Yeah. More about the project maybe than the name, but you're right. I mean, you could have gone for somebody more, synonymous with Bolton Wanderers, like Dean Holden, for example, who's now managing at Bristol City, was very close to the job. Kevin Nolan, who's at West Ham.
Yeah, of course.
Another one.
Notts County, he had a bit of pedigree.
Phil
as well,
Brown was available, people like that. It would have been very easy to reach for one of them, but I think what they saw in Ian Evatt was a guy who wanted to create a project, and they saw on a much kind of smaller scale what he did at Barrow and thought, well, if he can do that with bigger, better players, then you've got something that can grow over a matter of years and potentially take them back up there. Again, though, it hasn't been as easy as all that.
On today, then, who should Crawley fans at home be looking out for? I know Owen Doyle terrorised us about on Boxing Day. I think it was last season, scored a hat-trick.
So I don't think it was Boxing Day, was it?
It was around that.
Swindon,
when he was at Swindon. Is there anyone else that maybe Crawley fans might not stand out on paper, but ones that quietly go under the radar and ones that could definitely be a threat today?
Well, I mean, I'd love to say there's a long list of people that are going to do. I mean, Doyle is basically what I would have said if you hadn't said anything about him before. But I mean, the centre half Ricardo Santos has had a great start to the season for Bolton. He's confident. He comes out of the fence, can play the ball around. He's very much an Ian Evatt type player where he wants to build from the back and play football. Aside from that, Lloyd Isgrove has signed from Swindon. We've not really seen the best of him yet, but we haven't really seen the best formation yet either to suit him. And today, it's possible that Bolton might sort of try and match up with what Crawley are doing, and that might just play into Lloyd Isgrove's hands, you see.
Yeah. And I mean, but Bolton, it was a bad start to the season, wasn't it? It was a poor start to the season for you guys. But then you did have a little run, I think sort of November time, where you won 5 on the trot, 1 in the JPT. Yeah. But since then, you've only won. I'm just reeling off the stats. Can you tell? I've done a bit of homework and I'm showing off to the teachers at home.
Though, and as a marketing man,
since then, you've only won 1 in the last 5. Are you concerned? Do you still believe that if Bolton get their act together quickly, they could make a push for the playoffs or even the automatics? Or are you sort of thinking actually he's going to be mid-table?
No, I think there's still a very strong possibility they can push for the playoffs. I mean, they're only a few wins off top spot. It's a strange season, really. The whole top half of the table's quite concertinaed. They're capable of doing it, but at the minute there's nothing there that tells you they can do it. Right. They had that run during November. He got manager of the month as well for that, but since then, as you say, it's dipped off, and that problem with consistency seems to be spreading throughout football during this lockdown. You guys are probably one of the only ones that have managed to keep hold of any degree of consistency November onwards. So I hope that's not the kiss of death for you as well. But it's a very difficult environment to try and string those results together because, you know, training schedules are affected, travelling schedules are affected, lineups are affected week to week. And so I don't expect any team to be particularly consistent for the rest of the season.
I think that sort of in this league this year, there's no one who's particularly really good, but also there's no one who's particularly really bad either. And as you say, the scheduling causes havoc. Your game midweek got postponed because of Morecambe's COVID issues. Do you think that will bring a benefit to Bolton, that they've had a bit more rest than Crawley? Obviously, Crawley have had to go Boxing Day, Tuesday, and then here again today, whereas you guys had a bit more of a rest.
It should do. It should do. There's a couple of players down there that would have said definitely needed. The problem being is, as you can tell by the surrounding climate here, it's been like high station zebras. So
I know. I get it.
Exactly, and it will get worse. Come 5 o'clock, you'll. It's a completely different ecosystem here on Winter Hill. It's been difficult for them to train, so it will be interesting to see how they've managed that. They've got an indoor training bubble on the training ground, but they can't train too close to match day with it because of it's a 3G pitch, so that you pick up different injuries. Yeah. So they've basically not been able to prepare properly for this game.
Right.
Very fresh, and they've changed formation, so there's a lot up in the air really.
Yeah, I finally think we just probably, as we tick time on, need a score prediction, as we always do. We've never had a guest come on and tip up a Crawley win, so don't worry, there's no pressure on you giving us anything.
Well, as long as Nicky Josie doesn't turn up and score a late winner, I don't really care. Look, I think considering the form that Crawley are in, I think Bolton probably would be quite happy with a draw, I'll be honest. So I'm going to go for a high-scoring draw. I'll go 2-2.
Well, how far the Reds have come, where they're coming to Bolton, and Bolton are hoping for a draw.
I like Bolton.
I love the references to the cup game a few years back when we our only ever competitive game against Bolton when we
Bolton's
won 2-1.
117th different opponent.
Oh, what a stat!
Oh, really? Well, there you go. Look, Gary Smith, if you're watching at home, eat your heart out. What a stat. Mark, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate your time and thank you for the insight into Bolton. Really appreciate that. Coming up after the break, we will have Sam here to talk us through our Player of the Month competition. A very good month for the Reds. 7 unbeaten. Did I mention that? So after the break, Sam will be here to go through Player of the Month.
2017, £30 million has been lost to pension scammers. That's about 26,000 Premier League season tickets. During these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to defend your hard-earned money. Be on the ball to anyone contacting you out of the blue. Find out more about pension scams and how to avoid them by visiting our website.
Yeah, so great insight there from Mark from the Bolton News. We're now with Sam, guest of the in. Sam here to talk us through the goal of the month.
Goal of the month, yeah.
It's goal of the month. So talk us through it, and hopefully it'll be something playing over the top. Go on.
Yes, there will in a second, I believe. I've got a video prepared, so we'll have that lined up. But obviously we've got 4 goals coming up. We've got Max Watters against Leyton Orient, the one that put us 2-1 ahead and eventually won us the game in the 80th minute. Goal B, I believe, is Tom Nichols against Forest Green. Goal C is Tom Dallison versus Mansfield, and then goal D is Max Waters' second goal versus Mansfield. So let's take a look at those nominations.
Yes, we're having a party here at the University of Bolton Stadium. It's so cold. We're dancing away to try and keep warm in the break. We look like a right bunch of morons. Sam, talk us through the goals. Which goal's your personal favourite?
My personal favourite has to be Tom Nichols versus Forest Green on Tuesday night. Actually, it wasn't even that long ago.
First or second?
Yeah. Huh? First. That would be my first. But I think on the basis of just the absolute scenes in the stand between the media and the directors after that goal went in, it was like today. It was so cold, and after them pulling it back to 1-1, you sort of think, oh no. And then that went in, and it was just absolute scenes. So that would be my number one. What about you, Harry?
I'm thinking Waters at Leyton Orient for my one. Purely, I think the whole team move was so good, and like the Waters kind of like the casualness to the finish. Like I think he almost controlled it so well, it just stuck to his foot.
Yeah,
happy days. Another one to add to the tally.
And I quite like Dallison. It was almost like a centre half. It was a great goal. It was almost like just swung a leg.
Just hope for the best.
Let's show Compass special.
A show Compass special.
There is a wide angle of those highlights where, because obviously the way Tom's hit it, he's sort of facing this way and the goal's that way, and he's turned around and the ball's just in the top corner. He just stood there and just went, like, he just wasn't ready for it to go in.
Brilliant. No, I just say it is very cold. My wife has just messaged saying your ears look cold.
You've got a wife?
Oh,
what goes around comes around.
I am wearing the socks my mother-in-law got me for Christmas. Too much. This show goes anywhere, doesn't it? Look back at December. Let's take a look at 2020, captured by Charlie Palathorpe.
It back, it's snapped home, and Crawley have the lead, and it's that man Waters again. Step again, slid forward. Nichols, will he fancy it? Right-footed, plays it in. Waters drives it. Waters has the equaliser. Gorgeous all. This tremendous first round FA Cup tie, and this could be the winner for Crawley, and it is. What a comeback! Go wide left, slides it through though. Natterson's in on goal. Ashley Natterson clips it over the top, and Crawley are back on level terms. And a wonderful bit of play by Crawley in the midfield. Who makes the save? He's headed back across the goal. Ball tries to force it away. Crawley going to score! Near side, he's just got beyond. Crossing in it goes. That's Watters! Watters! Surely wins it for Crawley after some great play on this near side by Natterson. But Watters has his 16th of the season, and when they've been under the cosh for most of the second half, Crawley have come forward.
Yeah, welcome back. We said earlier on when we was chatting to Mark, we were going to take a look at Ian Everett's comments in the week leading up to this game. Let's have a look at that. So it's Ian Everett, Bolton manager. Let's have a look at his comments in the week.
So, Gaffer, with the Morecambe game being suspended in midweek, how has that affected plans and how you approach Saturday's game against Crawley Town?
Yeah, obviously it's given us a bit more of a rest from the game against Carlisle on Saturday. However, the weather gods haven't really been in our favour. Obviously a lot of snow and ice in the Bolton area, and even though we're blessed with some great facilities, it's still challenging to put sessions on for the lads and make sure we're prepared properly for Crawley on Saturday.
Looking at Saturday's opponents, Crawley, they're in top form, having picked up some good results, particularly away from home recently. What kind of challenge are you expecting from them?
It'll be a difficult game, no doubt, and they're on the back of a very good win at Forest Green on Tuesday. In terms of the way they play, they change a lot. Formations have changed. Whoever they're coming up against, really, they seem to adapt and change their formation and tactics, so we don't really know what to expect. The most important thing for us is to concentrate on what we do and be better at what we do, and certainly that means defensively we need to be stronger and better and more improved, defending our box, defending set pieces better, and then make sure we attack and score goals like we have been doing in recent weeks. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, like you say, goals scoring for ourselves has not been a problem. It's just at the other end of the pitch where you've needed to tighten.
Yeah, it's just the inconsistencies of it, really. Like I said, on Monday we've conceded 17 set pieces, and that isn't, you can't really coach and train marking a man. It's just about you being determined, aggressive, and defending one for one and stopping your man scoring. Hopefully we'll see the players do that better on Saturday, and as I said, if we can attack the way we have been doing and scoring goals, then hopefully we'll get the right result.
Any early team news ahead of the game? Obviously Peter Kioso will be suspended.
Yeah, Peter's out for the one game because the Morecambe game was off. He misses Saturday. He's a big loss for us because he's a very good player, but it leaves a chance and an opportunity for someone else to come in and stake a claim to keep the shirt.
Yeah, after Saturday's game there's going to be a 10-day gap between games. Has that break come at a good time, or would you prefer there to be a frequency of matches?
Well, yeah, I mean it is a good break after a Christmas period, and we've identified things that we need to work on. It's been difficult to get content into the players on the training pitch because we've been playing, recover, play, recover, but it gives us a chance to really work on things on the training pitch and improve the squad and get people in the building with the window opening. But also the COVID testing starts next week, so we don't know where we're going to be. There's lots of asymptomatic cases, especially in sportsmen, so that could that could damage our training schedule, depending on if we've got any cases and how long they have to self-isolate for.
Yeah, so interesting comments there. Particularly, I thought, Harry, about the concentrate, Harry.
Oh, you
I know. I just
you sent me all the hundreds of comments that have been flying in.
I just stitched Harry right up just so you didn't get that. So, Harry, some comments there from Bolton manager Ian Evatt the week about how he didn't know what Crawley were going to do because they chop and change all the time as they have again today.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know necessarily what Crawley are going to be doing week by week, so it must be really hard for opposing managers to do the same. And I think, well, like we touched on earlier, when you've got goals across the team, I never feel concerned that Naderson's dropped out. Or even today, I don't feel concerned that Max isn't necessarily in the squad.
He was out on Tuesday night, and
exactly,
Tom stepped up.
You're bringing in such quality, and you almost trust all the players that we've got in the squad that they can play at this level and get us wins at this level.
And I know, like we every week we seem to get a look at the team and go, what sort of formation to play? Let's go through that team again. I think it looks like this: Glenn Morris in goal, Archie Davis and Tom Dallison as fullbacks, Jordan Tunnicliffe and Tony Craig at centre half. And then I'm guessing maybe a narrow midfield four of George Frankham, Jake Hessenthaler, Jack Powell and Sam Matthews. And then Sam Matthews was in behind Tom Nichols and Ashley Naderson up front. Do you see anything much different to that?
Potentially, yeah. The only thing maybe is it might just fall back to a 5 through the middle with Matthews out on one wing. He might just push Naderson out to the other wing and keep Nichols through the middle. I guess depending on the flow of the game and how that goes. No expert, I don't know how Bolton are necessarily going to line up. The only thing for me maybe is I do feel that when I've seen Crawley play with the 3/5 at the back, I feel like it's something that we use really well, and we look like a really solid, compact side with 3 or 5 at the back. That's the only thing that maybe worries me a little bit of the changes, is Dallison has been so good at centre half. Are we wasting him at left back?
Yeah, maybe. I think that's almost all we've got time for, but we asked you for our if 2020 was a football match. Let's go through some of the answers. Steve Leake here says 9-0 away to Wimbledon in 1969-1970. Ouch. John Barnett, 5-0 home defeat to Worthing in the Sussex Senior Cup in 1995. Incredible, isn't it?
Look at this.
Yeah, incredible that in 1995, playing Worthing in the Sussex Senior Cup would have been incredible.
Yeah.
And you come to a place like this and you go, look how far we've come.
Oh, no, it is mad.
28,000 seater stadium, and back then a 5-0 defeat in the Sussex Senior Cup would have been a disaster. We got here Brandon. He said, he's guessing Bolton 3, Crawley 1. So that
steady on.
2020 was a game that would probably
there was
be
also
it.
the 4-0 Wickham defeat, and there's a bit of an incident.
Yeah.
Things felt pretty low at that point. That felt very 2020-ish.
Yeah, who is it here? Joe put a hat on. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, should have done. What else have we got? Let's have a little look. Carol Bates, 5-0 battering at Walsall on a Tuesday night. Yeah, I was there. That was horrendous. 4 goals going in at Crewe in about 10 minutes. Yeah, I was also there. So
that was the game. We went down to 9 men one year at Crewe as well. I'm sure we did.
Yes, I think Jordan Roberts got sent off. We lost 3-0 there as well. Yeah, not a great record against Crewe as it goes. Someone said 2020 was like the Man United game at Old Trafford. High hopes, but no realistic expectations of winning. The opponent was just too strong all over the place. But did we give up? No way. And we get all the glory. Love that. Plenty of glory in 2020, to be honest. Alan Harper losing 6-0 to Morecambe wasn't the best away trip. That's the one I said. Yeah, dead right there, Alan. Somebody else has gone the 9-0 back at Plough Lane. So some really interesting ones there. That's it. Let's put 2020 to bed, Harry, and look ahead to
we haven't got much coming up this year so far, have we?
Yeah. I mean, firstly, let's look in the short term. Leeds United at home in the FA Cup, third round on Sunday, next Sunday, live on BBC, which is exciting for the club and the whole town. I'm putting my glove back on because it is cold. Talk of the town. We'll be bringing you Talk of the Town
with a special guest.
With a special guest, yes. Yeah, very.
That's a big one.
I got me excited then. Yeah, very special guest next Sunday joining us for Talk of the Town. You do not want to miss that. That'll be. Well, I'm excited. The most exciting guest we've ever had on the show. It's only taken us 25. It's not Chico. Nick the Geordie telling us it's Chico. It's not Chico or Eugene or
brother. Katie Price, we had that in the car as well.
Katie Price, yeah. It's not Ramesh Ranganathan. Even a bigger legend of Crawley. So obviously Leeds is exciting to look forward to, but looking beyond that, the rest of 2021, what are your hopes for Crawley for the rest of this year?
Get in the playoffs. I don't care if we get in the playoffs and we lose 5-0 both legs. I just want to see Crawley have a season in the Football League where we finish inside the playoffs.
Yeah, I know if John was here, he'd be sort of like trying to dampen down the fires.
I don't care.
Which is his job, I suppose. It's his job to keep an element of keep us on the ground, keep us grounded. It's our job to try and hype it up
Well, we keep looking back over our shoulder, but we're far closer to the top of the league than the bottom of it. So I think we've got to be looking forward.
I think in previous years, we've always had that element of, obviously 2 years ago we went to Yeovil and sort of that game could have sent us right into relegation battle. We've always had that to the end of the season, trying to make sure we stay up. This year, I'm the same as you. I'm looking at the squad. I'm looking at how we're playing. Even when we've been getting beat, we don't seem to be. We're still performing well, and hopefully, if we can maintain that, I think this squad might be good enough, at least to push for the playoffs.
Absolutely. I think as a fan in this position, you've got to grasp it when you're in it. And if you're knocking on the door of the playoffs, I think you've got to try and be, as a fan, try and kick it down with the team and really get on board with what's going on. There's a great buzz around the club. Sad that there's no fans in to see the games at the moment, but hopefully in the games that Crawley fans were lucky enough to go to, they saw and they got a little glimpse of just how good things are at the club at the moment.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of our fans are desperate to come to Bolton as an away game.
Well, hopefully we won't be here next year.
Get the chance. Hopefully Bolton will still be in League 2 whilst we are flying into League 1. You never know. I don't want to get too excited. Even I'm getting carried away here. But yeah, fingers crossed. And I suppose games like today will test that. One thing that I did notice whilst I was doing my research, believe it or not, some research actually goes into this nonsense, was that away from home, I think we're unbeaten in 7 away from home, or unbeaten in 5 away from home, something like that. We haven't lost away from home since we got beat at Walsall.
Running, which has always been a taboo subject kind of thing with Crawley in recent years. We've always struggled away from home.
We've killed that.
Oh my God, it is so refreshing to see us go away and not just be like, oh yeah, when's the first goal going to go in against us? When's the second going to go in?
I remember away at Exeter, the infamous Exeter interviews, but Tony Craig in that said, I know this club has had I hear about away form being quite poor. That won't happen whilst I'm at the club, and to be fair, he's proved us right, and it's left us into a position like Mark there from Bolton saying, do you know what? I think Bolton would take a point today, which is incredible,
crazy,
like absolutely mental. But we're coming here and going, do you know what? And the way that John is, the way that Lee is, they'll come here and go, do you know what? We're going for 3 points, and that's it.
Completely, and I have no reason to think we're not going to turn up today or anything like that. I think you come to big stadiums against big clubs, and if we've turned it on at Forest Green on a Tuesday winter's night, there's no reason why we can't come here and do the same thing today.
Yeah, absolutely. Harry, thank you very much.
Cheers, pleasure.
Harry will be on iFollow, giving the commentary in Gary's absence. He'll be with the legend Kiosk Ken. He'll be Commentary Ken.
Commentary Ken.
It's another one. They'll be on iFollow, giving us the game live. So, Harry, thank you very much for joining us here.
Cheers.
Thank you to you for joining us once again for Talk of the Town. You've got just enough time to go and make yourself a coffee, or grab the tin of sweets that's still left, or there's probably only bounty.
Or if you want to feel like you're here, just open your windows and your door.
Yeah.
Put shorts and a t-shirt on.
Take some clothes off. Yeah, I mean, it's taking another turn. Yeah,
you never know where it's going to go.
We're encouraging the viewers to take their clothes off. Why not? Watch Crawley with no clothes on. There you go. Yeah, I think on that note, we'll call it a day. Thank you very much for joining us. All you naked people out there, big up. We don't want to don't send in your pictures. We're going to turn the Crawley Town timeline into a whole new different thing. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next week when we play Leeds United. Leeds United at home, then away to Bradford. So Bolton away, Leeds at home, Bradford away. Incredible run of fixtures. Exciting times to be a Red fan. I know you can't be here, but still you can enjoy it from your sofas. Enjoy the game. All that's left to say,
come on, you Reds!
What a show! If you enjoyed it as much as we did, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you can be notified about when we are next live here from Talk of the Town. Make sure you don't ever miss an episode, subscribe, hit the bell, and we will see you again very soon.